This story starts off with a man and a dragon in battle. He confidently says that even if the dragon god came in person, it would still perish. As he's talking, a young man interrupts him while jumping off a cliff, saying that no respectable person would watch the opening scene. The best thing to do is to quickly enter the game and seize the initiative. As he's falling, a system prompt asks him if he wants to get a class. He shouts out yes. He was so focused on acting cool that he forgot about the character creation. The system prompt notifies him that the appearance of the character has been adjusted. He is to give the character a name, advising him that there is no renaming function, so he should consider carefully. He chooses the name Kindergarten Strongest. After testing the name, the system determined that his age did not meet the criteria for choosing that name, so it's rejected, and he should choose a different name. He checks and sees that he's almost reached the ground. He screams out Winter River as he passes through a cloud of smoke. He then crashes into the novice village. We see that he's not hurt. Only most of his clothes is destroyed, leaving a little piece of his pants. He then looks over and sees an elderly villager with an exclamation mark over his head. The first thing he has to do is get a mission. He approaches the old man asking if there's anything he can do for him. The old man tells him that he's not worthy. He then gets agitated and asks the old man who's he looking down on. The old man then says, since he thinks so highly of himself, it's simple. He then points at some slimes at the village entrance and tells him to kill a slime to prove his power. We see the slimes traveling on the outskirts of the village. The system asks him if he'll accept the mission of proving his power. He accepts it without hesitation. As he's standing in front of a slime, the system gives him the information of the mission. The brave adventurer must kill a slime to prove his power. He says that if him, Winter River, was not born, this village would have been eternally defenseless. As he's saying this, he takes out a stick he has in his inventory. He then hits the slime while telling it to come at him. He dealt 5 damage to it, but he is surprised by the initial damage of the game, which is low. We see that the slime is really pissed off. The slime then slams him in his stomach and chest, which causes 50 damage, and causing him to lose his stick. He manages to control his balance and not fall. He is surprised by a slime's damage being 10 times bigger than his. He then runs back to the village. As he checks his system profile, he wonders what's happening. There must be something wrong. We see that he's level 1. His HP is 100, strength is 2, defense is 1, reputation is 0, luck is 0. The only skill he has is a detection skill. It shows basic information about creatures or props with a level up to 5 levels higher. He gets mad saying he can't even beat a slime. As he looks around the village, he says he's stuck on a slime his first time entering the game. The other players are probably watching the cutscenes and might have enough time to think of a way out before they arrive. He then sees a novice village soldier. The soldiers here seems to be at least level 5. He approaches the soldier asking if he can ask him a question. The soldier replied with a quick no. He wonders how come the soldier's the same as the village head, wondering if all the people in the village are so unfriendly to newcomers. The soldier then says that the adventurers should first think of how to defend themselves against the slimes. It would be 10 golden coins, so he shouldn't think about asking for his help. He then tells the soldier to look. There are no adventurers. There's no one else here but him. 1 golden coin can't be that much. If he doesn't want to, he'll find someone else. The soldier then starts thinking that the village elder said a while ago that a large number of adventurers will come in a while, and new opportunities will come too. But there's only one person after so long. Plus, he only earns 50 silver coins for 1 month of duty. 100 silver coins is 1 gold coin. But the man in front of him, Winter River, probably doesn't know that yet. He then tells Winter River to wait, saying Winter's generosity has convinced him. So what help does he need? We see that Winter has a devious smile on his face. He then tells the soldier that he wished to receive his advice, and the soldier agrees. The system then notifies him that he has been taught by novice village soldier Cairo. Basic sword skill, grade D. Learned. Basic double hit, grade C. Learned. We see that his body is glowing with a yellow light. The system then shows him information about his skills. Basic sword skill, passive. Only by mastering the basics can one strive excellence with their swordsmanship. 5+ strength. Equipping swords can achieve 100% of the effect. Other weapons obtains only 50%. Basic double hit. Active. It's a simple and clear 2-hit combo, with little to none fanfare. Quickly causes 2 damage to one enemy based on its own attack. The first time causes 75% damage. The second time it causes 80% damage. Cooldown 20 seconds. The soldier then tells him that he's spent all his coins teaching him, so he should pay up. We see that his eyes are bulging from desperation for the gold coin. He replies saying he will. But he just arrived here. There's no way to transfer his stuff yet. He can write an IOU, and he'll pay back as soon as he has the money. The soldier then gets mad and shouts asking him if he wants to get it for free. He tells him no, he just came here truly penniless. The soldier then says he'll have to sign a contract with him, and if he doesn't pay the 1 gold coin owed within a week, he'll hunt him down and won't spare him. The system then informs Winter that he's signed a contract with novice village soldier Cairo. He must hand over 1 golden coin within a week to repay the generosity. If he violate this contract, he'll be hunted by Cairo the soldier and won't be spared. He then smiles and says to add 1 more coin, telling the soldier to give him his stuff. We then see him geared up with the soldier's equipment, saying after so much talking he finally convinced him to give up his equipment. The system then shows information about the equipment: soldier leather armor, white tier, defense 2, uniform of the novice village soldier, soldier iron sword white tier, strength 3, the sword of the novice village soldier. We also get to know about the ranking in the game. There's white, bronze, silver, gold, dark gold, spirit, earth, and finally heaven. The white tier is obviously rubbish weapon level. According to the description, the equipment Tianheng continent ranges from low to high tier. We see that his stats has risen a little. Suddenly lightning starts flashing, and a lot of other players joins the game. Everybody is amazed at how realistic the game is. Winter thinks to himself that it's completely packed with players. It turns out after watching the opening scene and entering the game normally, the game looks like this, but the best thing to do is seize the chance. He then runs back out to the outskirts of the village. He's once again face to face with a slime. He then uses his newly acquired sword and skills to dealt a double hit on a slime. First damage was 22, and then 28. He is excited that the damage has increased this much. We see that the slime is aggravated. It then launches an attack on him causing 12 damage. He's also overjoyed on how much his defense increased. He then lands the finishing blow on the slime causing 66 damage, and kills it. The system congratulates him on killing blue slime, and he's gained 10 XP. He then starts talking about how he was actually able to do 66 critical damage, and it only took seconds, feeling nice that he has equipment and skills. He then challenges the rest of the slimes, telling them to come at him. The system then notifies him that he's reached level 2. His strength and defense aptitudes have been raised by 1, and his HP by 100. He continues to kill monsters with his improved stats. After 2 hours, we see people in the village complaining that the slimes are hard even for a team of 4 or 5 to defeat, saying they're doomed and won't make it past the village. The old man thinks to himself that they're a bunch of trash, and they're no good. Someone then calls to the old man. We see that it's Winter who has reached level 3. He has a bag in his hand and says he's proven his power. He then throws down the bag that is filled with slime cores. The old man frowns and says that it seems like there are still a few adventurers with IQ high enough for this. The system then notifies him that he's completed the mission. Prove your power. He receives 20 XP. Winter thinks to himself that the old man looks down on people too much. He tells the old man that the mission was too easy, asking if there's anything else. The old man then says yes. He wants him to hunt down the 10 demon gods. If he dare. The system then shows the information for the mission. The Tianheng continent is divided into the light and dark faction. The strongest beings in the dark faction are called the 10 demon gods. He is to hunt them down, and he will gain ultimate glory and enjoy the treatment of a hero. The reward for completing is City Lord of a level 1 city. Countless equipment, golden coins, and the old man's mysterious heirloom. Deadline of 1 week. Failure penalty is the light faction's reputation drops by -100,000. Level by -50, 10,000 golden coins submitted to the old man as a fine. Winter asks the old man if he's trying to cheat him out of 10,000 golden coins. The last mission was to kill a slime, and now he's to kill a demon in 1 week? The old man smugly asks him if he doesn't dare to do it anymore. He thought he was smarter than the rest of the adventurers, but it seems like he's the same. He then briefly looks at the old man without saying anything, then agrees and accepts the mission, but tells the old man that the consequences for the mission's failure are too severe. He must give up the mysterious heirloom first. The old man then happily hands it over to him, saying as expected of the intelligent and strong hero, while thinking to himself that Winter is a fool, putting aside the fact that -100,000 reputation points will propel all light factions to hunt Winter down. Just the 10,000 gold coins alone would make him rich. The system then notifies Winter that he's successfully accepted the mission, hunting the demon gods. The time limit will be 1 week, and he should make use of his time wisely. He also sees the item's information. Wrath of the Fire God, S-grade object. Tear the scroll and unleash a low-tier forbidden spell of the fire attribute. It will create an aid with a radius of 200 meters and deal 5 million fixed damage to all enemies. Can only be used once. We see that it's nighttime in a forest. A level 5 Grey Wolf charges at Winter and bites him on his leg. He then strikes the wolf and finishes it off in 2 hits. The system notifies him that he's earned 80 XP from killing a Grey Wolf. He's now reached level 4. Strength and defense goes up by 1, and HP by 100. He only got 3 bronze coins from the wolf he killed. He says to himself that he never thought that the heirloom is a one-time use scroll. No wonder the old man was so eager. With the speed at which he's leveling up, killing the demon gods is already impossible. Contemplating whether he should abandon this account, the system then warns him that he's signed a contract of 10,002 gold coins in-game. If he chooses to abandon his account, he'll have to compensate using real-life money. The current market rate is $600 for 1 gold coin. He then does the calculation and sees that 10,002 gold coins would become 59 million plus dollars. The best job he can find as a fresh graduate is only 8,000, wondering how long it would take to repay. He then sees that a pack of wolves have come for him. He says that it's just 10,000 gold coins, nothing to panic about. He'll just keep a low profile and grow first. He then runs from the pack of wolves and sneaks up on one of them that is isolated from the pack. He swiftly sprints towards the wolf and attacks it, causing it to howl out. He laughs and tells it that no matter how hard it howl, there won't be another wolf coming. 2 hours then passes by. We see that he's killed a lot of wolves. He's now at level 7, and the equipment dropped. The equipment that dropped is called a wolfskin wrist guard that gives 2+ defense. We then see something from a distance that looks like a man and a wolf. We get to know that it's a demonic wolf king, bronze tier boss level 12. It has an unfortunate encounter with an escaping necromancer, and was transformed into a fierce and powerful demonic wolf king using forbidden magic. In the end, it became the necromancer's guard dogs used to defend against outsiders. He says that his attack is just enough to break its defense, plus its HP is 25,000, but maybe it's safer if he attacks it when he's at a higher level. He then changes his mind and thinks that if he want to break out of the situation, he has to walk the path less trodden. He has to take this chance when there are no other players around. He then sprints at the boss wolf, and it spots him right away, jumping to attack him. Him and the boss then exchanges blows. The boss dealt 219 damage to him while he dealt 9. The boss then gets ready to attack him again and he prepares for it. But then a wolf runs up on him from behind, biting him on the arm. We see that now he is more angry than anything else. He then grabs the wolf by the neck, holding it in front of him. He then uses it as a hostage shield against the demonic wolf king, saying as expected, "It won't attack, its own race." He then lands a double hit on the wolf king. It then gets mad and tries to attack, but he uses the wolf as a shield, preventing the wolf king from attacking him. He then started throwing a barrage of attacks at the wolf king. 2 hours later, something about the wolf king changes. We see that his HP has reached half. He realizes that it's going into its second phase. It then uses a skill. The system notifies him that the wolf king used bloodlust. 15+% strength, 20+% speed. Every minute will deplete 0.2% of its HP. He questions the system if this is a joke. Depleting only 0.2% of HP is hardly a debuff, and it looks like the process of killing a boss is going to be rougher than he thought. The system then notifies him that the Wolf King has used Wolf King Aura. Winter's movement speed and attack speed has decreased by 10% for 30 seconds. The Wolf King then attacks him, ripping the wolf he used as shield to pieces, frightening Winter. The system then notifies him that the Wolf King is deeply saddened by his own action and is unable to move for 5 seconds, which surprises Winter that there was such a setting. He then starts landing all the hits he can in the 5 seconds. But as the time runs out, the Wolf King strikes him once, nearly killing him. He checks his HP and realizes that it's almost gone from just 1 hit. He then starts running and thinking that he can't beat him. But can he outrun him? The Wolf King then charges at him and attacks him, but he dodges. He was lucky he walked in an awkward manner, wondering if he could really beat it in a battle of attrition. As he dodges its attacks, he thinks to himself that if he moved the wrong way with his current HP, he would immediately be killed by just 1 hit. He then uses basic sword skill. After 5 hours passes, We see that the Wolf King's HP is at the edge, and he delivers the final blow, killing it. The system notifies him that he's killed Bronze Tier boss Demonic Wolf King. He received 2,000 plus XP, reputation plus 500. He celebrates that he finally depleted its HP. He's now reached level 10. The system notifies him that because he's the first person in the entire game to kill a Bronze Tier level boss, he's received 10 plus attribute points of his choice, 1,000 plus reputation, and a rare object called Blessing Orb. The system then asks him if he wants to announce his battle results to all the adventurers. After announcing to the entire server, he will receive 100,000 reputation points. He then says yes to announce battle results. The system then tells everybody that Winter is the first to kill a bronze boss. Some people say that's really fast, while some complains that they haven't even left the novice village yet. He then starts to get bombarded with friend requests from all sorts of people. He tells the system to reject and block anyone from sending him friend request, deciding to look at the loot for killing the boss instead. Someone then asks who killed their carefully placed puppet, which surprises Winter. We see that it's a necromancer. The necromancer says that he sees that it's just a nobody and should die. Winter realizes that the necromancer is the one mentioned in the Wolf King's description, but he still has a trick up his sleeve to deal with the necromancer. The necromancer tells him that him, the necromancer, along with the other powerful individuals at the Dark Gold tier on the continent, is but a step away from the Spirit tier. Since Winter killed his puppet, he should leave his last words and welcome death. Winter says that he can't believe a Dark Gold tier individual is dwelling in the small novice village. The necromancer asks him if he thinks that he can revive eternally and don't need to fear death just because he has the goddess of life's protection, thinking that although he's heavily wounded and not in his best condition, he should be more than able to kill Winter. Winter says as expected of a Dark Gold tier individual. He'd know about even that. So before he dies, he has one last request of the necromancer. He hoped that the necromancer will be able to fulfill it. The necromancer then tells him to speak his request. He then asks the necromancer if he could let him take a look at his information page, saying this is his final request, thinking that if the necromancer's HP is under 5 million, it's over. The necromancer thinks to himself that he's in way too bad a state right now. He can't show his information page. He then prepares to attack, saying Winter is just an ant of an adventurer and speaks too much, so he should just die. Winter asks him if this excuse isn't reaching a bit too far, pulling out the scroll he got from the old man and saying it's not too late to stop. The necromancer is surprised that he has a forbidden scroll. He didn't even think that a newbie adventurer would have that kind of equipment. Winter then tells him that if he doesn't want to die, then he should show his information page and hand over all of the treasures he has, all while threatening him with the scroll. The necromancer tells him that he knows what he's thinking. He's scared the HP is higher than the damage the curse does. Why don't he guess how high his HP is? Saying there's no way he'd be scared of a one-time use scroll. Winter then tells him that he'll tear it then. After all, he's an adventurer and can revive. We see that the scroll is beginning to crack a little. The necromancer thinks to himself that if he were in peak condition, he definitely wouldn't be scared of this curse. But now he might not be able to tank it. He tells Winter not so fast. Just what is he trying to do? Winter demands he give up enough equipment and tools. He'll leave, thinking that this NPC's too smart. The necromancer tells him that he cannot give an adventurer equipment or tools without anything in return. Winter asks why, and he's told that it's because of this world's rules. Winter then asks him what he's supposed to do, thinking that hearing an NPC says the word rules sound too weird. The necromancer then gives him a suggestion. He'll break conventions, take Winter on as his disciple, and teach him sword skills from the Dark Faction. A system notification then pops up saying, Necromancer Daniel has invited you to join the Dark Faction. Do you agree? Once agreed, Light Faction reputation negative 100,000, and Dark Faction's reputation system will be opened. It will also be seen as a complete betrayal of the Light Faction. Winter is surprised at what he's shown by the system. He calls the Necromancer out that it's a scheme. Once he's select to join the Dark Faction, he'll have nowhere to go, and he'll become an ant on a string like the Necromancer. Plus, the warrior is a well-balanced role with 3 stars across the board. There's no way he'll care about their dark sword skills. The necromancer then tells him to relax, swearing on the god of contracts' name. If Winter becomes his disciple, he will naturally put all his effort into teaching him and let him change his role to become the only hidden role, the dark swordsman. The system then notifies him that the necromancer Daniel has sworn that he will put all his effort into making him become a talented disciple. If the necromancer goes back on his word, he'll be killed by the god of contracts. We also get to know that dark swordsman, the strongest mythical being amongst the undead spirits. Through history, there have been countless records of dark swordsmen plaguing the earth, and legends say that an evil power is hidden within them. Cold, violent, strong, and ruthless. They have unrivaled hidden talent. Winter thinks to himself that it's a hidden role where everything is 5 stars, and strength is even 6 stars. The stars represent the amount that each level will be increased by, and every 1 point of attack creates 10 points of damage. It will suit him well. He then calls the necromancer teacher and immediately agrees. The necromancer also says, okay. The system notifies him that he's successfully joined the Dark Faction. The Dark Faction's reputation system has been opened, and his Light Faction's reputation points have been set to negative 100,000 permanently. We see that there's dramatic changes to his body. The system congratulates him on changing his role to become the only hidden role, Dark Swordsman. His basic growth and features have changed. The ability in his body has been activated. Basic sword skills has leveled up to become Dark Sword skills. Basic double hit has leveled up to become Frenzied Killing. He has obtained extra rewards for being the first to change roles in the game. 10 plus free stats points, 1,000 plus reputation, rare equipment called Dead Spirit's Ring acquired. He looks at himself for a brief moment, then asks the necromancer, now his teacher, if he can change back. His teach tells him not to worry. This is a result of the evil aura in his body overflowing. Once he's powerful enough, he'll be able to control the evil aura and regain his original form. But for now, he'll help him hide his true self. The system notifies him that concealment magic has been used on him, and he has retained a human form for 3 days. He stands there without saying anything. The teach asks him what happened, and he replied saying he's already changed role to become the only hidden role. But his teacher's only a dark gold tier necromancer. His future's not bright. We see that this angers the teacher. He tells Winter that he's ambitious, but he should relax. Power is king in the Dark Faction. If he becomes stronger than the teacher one day, there's a chance he'll become a disciple of one of the 10 great demon gods. Winter excitedly says he understands. His teacher tells him that his name is weird, but gets back to what he was saying. As his teacher, he must let him undergo the test for anyone who changes their role, so he has to prove his loyalty to the Dark Faction. The system notifies Winter that he's been forced to accept this mission. Difficulty A, as a traitor of the Light Faction, the Dark Faction needs him to prove his loyalty. Kill 100 adventurers from the Light Faction, or original inhabitants. He asks the teacher if killing 100 adventurers isn't too difficult. And the teacher tells him that he's the only one out of all the necromancer's disciples that has changed their role to become a dark swordsman, so he mustn't underestimate his own talent. As he leaves, he tells Winter to go and prove that his heart yearns for darkness, since him, the teacher, is heavily injured and need 3 days to recover. In that time, he hopes that Winter will have already completed his mission, so he'll be able to take Winter with him and leave Novice Village. Winter then asks what happens if he dies now, wondering now that he's joined the Dark Faction. Can he still revive at the Novice Village's revival point? The teacher tells him that he's already joined the Dark Faction. How can he ask for the Goddess of Life's protection? Winter asks if that means he can't revive. The teacher tells him, of course. However, after losing the Goddess of Life's blessing, he'll also receive the ancient demon god's protection. He asks the teacher, what's that? And he's told once he finishes the role-changing mission, he'll know, so he should go. With time, he'll outshine the teacher in achievements. He then tells the teacher goodbye. Well, this is where this video ends. If you enjoyed and wish to see more, then please leave a like and hit the subscribe button and leave a feedback. Thank you.